Top of the list for us here, Sri Lankans crowded polling stations to choose between two war heroes, the incumbent president and his former army chief who resigned so he could take on his boss. There were no reports of any major violence by the time the booths closed yesterday afternoon. The two gentlemen competing for the top job, both expressing confidence.
Our victory has been confirmed today. I clearly see that people around the country are voting with good confidence and motivation.
The polling started in the morning with a lot of enthusiasm. There have been few incidents arranged by the interested parties, most probably with the government backing, to discourage people from voting.
Now, the polls still show a very, very wide gap, but apparently it is closing. Is there a hope for the former military chief? Our very own Arjuna Wickramasinghe is on the line from Colombo. Arjuna, morning. 61-38, I mean, that looks like a shoo-in. I mean, in most elections around the world, you would have had a concession speech by now.
Exactly, but Bernie, we have to remember that only about 7 to 8% of the votes have been counted so far, and what we are hearing from the election secretariat is the general is closing the gap. So you know, a lot of results are yet to come in. So we'll have to wait and see. The important thing is that yesterday, a lot of people were expecting this election to be really violent. A lot of incidents. They were expecting a lot of incidents to take place, but the voting was very peaceful. I've been covering Sri Lankan elections for a long time now, and this was certainly the calmest elections I've witnessed in my career as a journalist.
Now, you say only 7% of the votes have been counted, so we've got some ways to go before we have a resolution to this standoff. But again, you know, we're talking about a very, very hefty lead at the current juncture for President Rajapaksa. You know, 60s versus 30s. Is there something about Sri Lanka and the votes that are still incoming from some of the geographies where support for Fonseka could be a lot stronger and it could really turn the tide somewhat?
Exactly, Bernie, because we are yet to see any results from Sri Lanka's southern province, where Sarath Fonseka has a considerable support base, and of course the capital Colombo. We haven't heard anything yet from the election secretariat about the counting in the capital. So the capital is a traditional support base of the Sri Lankan opposition party, the United National Party, and where Sarath Fonseka is expected to do really well, where he's supposed to really close the margin. And of course, the provinces in rural Sri Lanka, where there's a considerable minority population, where Sarath Fonseka is also supposed to do well. So we'll have to really wait and see. It's still, most analysts say, even though given Rajapaksa has 61% of the votes counted so far, it's still too close to call.
Okay, yeah, 61% of the 7% of the votes that are in so far. Strong military presence today, and presumably that's a reason for the dearth of violence that was feared, Arjuna?
Exactly. Well, the government is saying it's a precautionary measure. You know, they're not leaving anything to chance here in Colombo. It's still very early here. It's 5:30 in the morning. And last night it was pretty strange driving down Colombo because it's a weekday in Colombo. It's a pretty busy city. But all the people around 8 o'clock in the line, they've gone back to their houses and they were waiting to track the election results. No one was on the roads. It was pretty deserted. It was like a ghost town here in Colombo. So we'll have to wait and see how things come out later in the day.
Okay, we'll take that relative calm as a good thing. Arjuna will be updating us throughout the morning and into the afternoon on goings-on as the votes get counted.